So, yo, good day, and welcome to another episode of the RoadFS podcast.
Yep.
Where every week we get together to talk about business, talk about things to help your business. And this week we have an amazing guest, Mr. Doug Reid. I think he's got something that he's going to talk to us about, to reveal, and he's going to be even revealing it even more at Mobile Tech. So, but before we do that, as you guys know, I'm Jody. That's
Still Rod.
still Rod. And I want to take a moment to give RoadFS a big pat on the back. So earlier this week, one of our customers called us and said, "Hey, Jody, I'm really struggling. I got a lot of things happening in my personal life, and I just don't have the business lined up to really get through January. Is there anything that we can do with RoadFS to help me with the email notifications on demand?" I said, "Absolutely, man. Let me get on the little phone with you." We put together a little email notification, sent out an email blast to all of his customers, and within 24 hours, he had $3,100 worth of business. And then this morning on the drive in, he sent me another text and said, "Hey, Jody, I got 2 more customers from that email blast, and I'm completely booked out through the end of the month." So
there you go.
Dude, it made me feel really, really good, made Rod feel really good, that we're having an impact on somebody's business directly. And it was super cool. So nice to get kudos from our customer, but also just wanted to take a moment and invite you guys to take a look at RoadFS. If you guys haven't, if you're not using the CRM or you're not happy with your current one, give us a shout and we'll be glad to walk you through it. So,
So let's talk to Mr. Doug Reid. We've known you for
let's not date ourselves.
Like 147 years. But realistically, Doug, you get involved into some pretty non-traditional things.
Correct.
And this is one of them. So talk to us about what this is.
Well, and before I get into that, of course, I'm not surprised by that testimonial. I firmly expect that from you guys. You've shown year in, year out that you guys are there to help anybody and all their needs. I think that's what separates you guys from everybody else. So kudos to you guys. Not surprised.
Well, thank you, brother.
So yeah, this is my latest venture. I mean, it's been 20 years in the making. It's a newer name. I did introduce it a little bit at Mobile Tech last year in 2023. Unfortunately, some personal life events got in the way, so we had to delay that. So we are now just getting to the point where we are ready for business. But this is a long-time coating, hand applied to address paint corrections or light surface scratches, swirls, and whatnot. I come from the wholesale world. I think many people know that. So machinery is just not really viable, certainly at a mobile context. And this allows us to provide a service to the dealerships quickly and at a profitable level, high profit level, and separating myself from the competition without inducing swirls and sling and burns and whatnot. So it's fun, it's exciting, it's edgy, hence the name. That is intentional, and it's definitely starts a conversation.
Yeah, and so I think that conversation is going to have certain questions, right? Like why, what makes this different than anybody else's coding, or stuff like that.
Yeah, well, and I think also as part of the industry, when you start talking, I mean, as you can see on my sign, liquid paint correction. Yeah, people spend hours and time, money learning a skill, and here I am saying, well, here's a liquid form of it, eliminating those hours of paint correction. No, I'm not directly competing against a full bore concourse level correction, but what I am saying is I can make your job a little bit easier, more affordable, profitable, save the wear and tear on your body, your hands and your fingers, eyes, whatnot. So again, this is a little niche. Shocker. That's what I'm known for. And it's fun, right?
Yeah,
And
you have a way of finding these little niches and bringing a product to market to fill those for a minute. So
yeah, but I think that there's things that you need. I mean, everybody can't, you, especially in the commercial world, like you mentioned, you can't wholesale stuff. You're not going to go to a dealership and do 3-step corrections. They could sell it, they could upsell it, and there's good profit in that. But at a dealership or at a mass produced area like that, it is in and out. We deal with a lot of people that are, we got one client that does about 144 cars a day. There's no, I mean, when you have to do a paint correction,
right.
it gets kicked out tomorrow. So that is, and again, it all comes back to customer expectations, and every customer is not a 3-step correction customer.
That's right. Well, when I began this journey 20 some odd years ago, I bought a high-end detailing operation, had 3 stores, well-known. People shipped me their cars from all over. Dealt with a lot of celebrities, president of the United States and whatnot. The problem is when I got introduced to the mobile world, those dealerships were, of course, expecting those same results.
Right.
And it's not an unheard of story. They call you up Friday at 3 p.m. I got a black Expedition that's being delivered at 6 o'clock. Need you to come take care of it. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to pay you $100. That's just not realistic.
Yeah.
Right.
So that began the path. I did discover hand applied coatings by mistake, like many people have, and not just talking about automotive products and whatnot, just in general. I mistakenly got a product on the paint, did not catch it right away. And when I came back around the vehicle and noticed it on the paint, I'm like, a scratch is gone. There's some shine to it. So I, of course, called the manufacturer and I was like, hey, man, did I just buy a paint job on this fender? And he thought about it for a moment. He's like, no, I think you're okay. So I did what any good red-blooded American male would do. I ran home, grabbed my wife's car, and I coated her entire vehicle. And I was on to something. And I worked with that manufacturer, that chemist. And at the time I called it the juice.
Yep.
And that's what I've been doing for all these years. Now my path has led me to share this with the world. It has certainly been improved upon throughout the years. And here we are today.
Yeah.
So,
I want to jump back for just a second. You said you started out doing like even the president's car. I didn't even know that Eisenhower knew him. So,
well, it's amazing what going to the gym does.
Yeah, it's exactly. For those of you that are
younger people,
might have to look that up. Look up Eisenhower. He was the president. And, anyway.
Yeah.
That was way before my time.
Oh
so.
yeah. So
funny.
now this is going out to the world, and I guess the question is going to be, and I'm going to not try to get information out of you that you don't want to release yet, but is everybody going to be able to find out pricing and your distribution model and sales and all that stuff at MTE? Is that when you're going to release all that?
That is the plan. As I mentioned earlier, I did introduce this last year. Again, life events got in the way, so it got delayed. On top of that, my chemist decided to go off on his own. He was working for a very well-known company. He's started a 15,000 square foot facility from the ground floor up.
Wow.
State of the art. And so I've been waiting on him patiently because the response was so overwhelming at Mobile Tech last year. Really, this was kind of going to just be a hobby, a little side gig. And because of that response, I realized I created a monster and I needed help getting this out there in terms of shipping, handling, manufacturing, and whatnot. So I've been waiting on him. He is up and running. Now, of course, he just sent me videos last week. His new facility just got flooded. So I'm not sure what impact that will have on me. But the plumbers forgot to close a pipe, apparently. So that being said, I have been selling snake oil this entire time, but it's just been very quiet. Word of mouth, referrals. People had known that I was introducing this, so they just inquired about it. Only because I knew I could not handle volume if I went ahead and published websites and started heavily marketing. So my intent is 2 weeks, Mobile Tech website will be up, shop will be up, manufacturer's ready for me. So I am virtually there. I wanted to do it right and make sure everything was in place.
Well, we're excited to see it. We're going to have to make sure that we swing by at Mobile Tech Expo with our mobile podcast booth.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
By the Flex Stack Pack. So shout out to Chris Metcalf. And we got something really cool designed that's going to surprise you. So you're going to want to stop by the RoadFS booth and check out our mobile unit because it's next level.
Oh, yeah.
Or just catch us while we're walking around. So we'll swing by and you can do a little demo of your product live, and that'll be super cool.
Right.
That'd be excellent.
So this is, I guess I'm going to add, so if I'm somebody coming up to you and I say, okay, so Doug, tell me the difference between company X's ceramic coating and snake oil. Is it just in the chemical makeup of it?
No. Different product category. Okay. Ceramics really is certainly just a protective coating. Mine is more corrective. There is protection involved. I'm in line with more, say, some of the products out there that we're all aware of: RestoreFX, Xcoat, Glow Pro, Icon, Rock Clear. People that I've been associated with over these years.
I wanted to state that out there because I know that's going to be the question. And I think that is such a untapped market because there's so many people that either the paint it's really bad. You're not going to be able to correct it, right? I see a lot of the people using those products. It's like, hey, this is gone. Right. You're looking at a paint job. Or you can put this on it and it's going to look 100% better. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to look way better. And I think that's
that's where I'm trying to fit in. This is more of a budget-friendly DIY type product. I'm trying to make it stupid easy. I mean, obviously I'm having to use it myself, so it's a very low bar. So the idea is I want to make this accessible. There's no buy-ins, there's no minimum purchase requirements, none of that. I'm trying to make something easy and answers and have this tool in your box, say for your thin paints, as you just mentioned. Maybe they're not comfortable, say a consumer's not comfortable using machinery, a rotary, a DA and whatnot, or just it's not in their budget to have. This replaces that. Or you have that person that comes in trying to sell their car. And even though if you did a very thorough detailing or even a 1 year paint correction, that in their mind, even though they're going to get their money back on the resale, you as the installer are losing that money because you spent time to do it. Well, here, coat it with snake oil, takes you less than an hour, charge them $300 or $400. I think that's a good ROI, and they're going to get their money back at time of sale. So there's definitely a lot of niches where there's a purpose for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Never mind the fact that it's safe on your trim, outstanding on your trim, and your headlights, all in one coating. So
wow, that's pretty awesome.
Because I mean, when we first got introduced to you and we met you, we actually flew out to Ohio and a couple of different states out there and went out to the stuff. And you were doing some stuff at the time. Yeah, I think we're in Pennsylvania.
I think it's Pennsylvania.
Well, the first time we met was in Maine, New Hampshire.
Yeah, Maine. I knew it was somewhere northeast.
Remember, you guys were with Roosevelt, and I was with Eisenhower.
Roosevelt. Right. We were Rough Riders, the Rough Riders. Roosevelt.
No, I know. I know.
Yeah. I still have the rifle. Here's the thing, though, is you were doing what I'm going to say at that time, and that was, I mean, we're joking about this, but this was a long time ago. This was several years ago, and even paint touch-up wasn't a big thing. And you were doing a process with paint touch up way before anybody else was,
Yes.
using silicone squeegees and filling in rock chips. And I was blown away. I was like, this guy's doing some stuff that other people aren't. So you're kind of, it's interesting. People ask, because we've actually had people call us and ask us like, who's this Doug Reid guy? And I'm like, well, there's a curve in detailing, and he's usually writing on top of it. It's right at the leading edge of that, because some of this stuff you got to look out, 10 or 12 years. And I know a ton of people that are working at dealerships where, like you said, for $300 or $400, you can tell them, look, you can add $1,500, $2,000 to the value of this car, because
Easy.
Take it from something that's got, as we call them, Idaho pinstriping, which is you've hit the brush, trashing around up in the hills. That car is going to wholesale. But if you put something like this on it, now it's not.
It's a retail piece. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I guess coming from the corporate world and entering the car world and the restoration cosmetic side of things, and I think more relevant now than ever, it's kind of saturated. Unfortunately, because of market conditions, we're going to start losing quite a few people, unfortunately, in the business. And from the very beginning, I just knew that even though I was in a smaller market, say, of Maine, I needed something to stand out besides just myself. Okay. People do buy from people, but it's at a point you need to create that conversation. So I began really early in thinking differently. And I learned that from my father. I went chemical free in 2001. I was definitely an early adopter of using steam on the inside of vehicles. And man, the moment I started marketing that and letting that get out, that's where really people started shipping me their cars. Chemical intolerances. I was doing it for health benefits for myself personally, someone with very bad asthma. But also, it saved me thousands of dollars per month not buying chemicals and getting in and out of the vehicle. So yes, so I learned very on. I got to start finding things that others are not. I do my research. I travel the world extensively looking for other products. And yeah, my paint touch-up is quite unique, very different.
It is.
And everything I've done, I've just looked for something that could distinguish myself from everybody else. No reason to compete against everyone when you don't have to. So,
and you're carrying that philosophy into the very branding of snake oil. I mean, the whole time I'm listening and I'm looking at your light in the background, I'm just picturing this guy trying to sell you wares that are really just, water and salt, or water and sugar. And it's a magical formula that's going to cure all, right? But knowing your reputation, right? You're bringing a product that is going to stand up to the name of snake oil in a way that is positive, right? You're playing off the traditional, funniness of snake oil, but you're bringing a legitimate product to detailers and to dealerships to really make a difference in their process and their profitability.
Well, my point and my issue with the industry is snake oil, it's so easy to say. It's so easy to declare. And our resistance to new technology, new methods, new products it's out there. I mean, think of ceramics when they first come trickling to the United States. That was considered snake oil. You can't do that. That's impossible. Even sealants, not even just products. Let's talk machinery. RoadFS and Flex, when they first came to the country, you can't replace that mighty rotary. That's evil. Just don't go there. Do it the way you've been told. So same with this, and this is what I'm really trying to teach, and it's the expectations. I think we've gone away from servicing our customers and listening to their needs and their expectations. I think too many of the detailing specialists are working to their own egos and expectations, or maybe they're trying to appeal to others. And what I mean by that is, yes, people will poo-poo on my product because I'm not doing hours of paint correction. Well, and then they wonder why they see people at car washes a week later. And that's and they're like, and they're hurt by it and they're mad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, because you did it to your expectation, not the customers. Customers want to see a shiny car. That's what they're looking for. They want to see it the way they got it from the dealership. They don't see the micro marring, the swirls. They don't see those, the air scratches. So we spend hours and we don't charge accordingly. So I learned really on just to answer their goals, shine and some protection. And I've tried, and that actually goes back to my paint touch up. When I first went to research paint touch up, I was expecting 100% repair. When I flew, I went to 3 different locations, 3 different companies, and when I saw their finished products, I was very disappointed. And I came back home thinking I wasn't going to move forward with it. And then I remembered specifically Mike in Burlington, Vermont, who was using a system called Premier Paint 2000. He had 8 cars in line when I arrived. And at the time, this was around 2005, I think, ish. He was charging $100 a car, and he was done by 1 o'clock.
Mm.
And that hit me. I was like, I'm thinking of it wrong. I'm thinking of my expectations, not what the dealerships were. And that's where kind of snake oil fits in,
I still think we need to get a wooden covered wagon. And
That's
Doug
exactly
needs to be up there. Hey,
got
see
my
here? See here? Here's
Get
some
it today. I
come
got
get it
the
today.
deal for you. I
Here's
traveled all the way from Nantucket, Tennessee.
It'll cure tuberculosis, clean up your car, and save
Be
you.
careful what you ask for. I just might do that.
That's right. No, I mean, I think that is honestly, that is one of those things. There's a lot of, as we travel around, and Jody and I, like last year, we were at 13 different locations, and we travel like you do. We're all over the place. And that when we first went out there to Maine with you, there was a couple of things that stuck into my head. One of them was that paint touch up, because it's such a unique process. Most people would have looked at these things. We were looking at it was a black Volkswagen Golf. Okay. And it was peppered. It was completely.
Despite your age, you got a good memory, because we were at a Volkswagen dealership. That's impressive.
It too.
It's a black Volkswagen Golf. It was completely peppered.
Yeah.
And you showed us the process that you go through, and I was just blown away. I was like, that is what the expectation of a dealership, or in your what we're going to call mass produced auto recon, is make it look better than it did yesterday and get it out the door. So I look at this product, and for years, when I've gone to dealerships with people and they're like, well, the service manager won't ever, he won't ever approve this or that or the other thing. You say, look, the driver's door, the first thing they're going to see, it's got scratches all up under the door handle. And I'm like, this is the thing. Get that out.
There you go.
Done. And I think that a lot of people don't think about it in that way. They think about, or they're fed this industry belief that you have to make 6 figures, and in order to do that, you're going to have to do $4,000 and $5,000 paint corrections. And yes, you can do that. There's people that are doing that. But if you can do it at $800 before 1 p.m., do that.
I'd rather have my evening.
Right. Well, we've had these conversations in the past. I also think a very important factor in my life is quality of life. 25 years, I still love my wife. Okay. I still like to be with my kids. I'm not slaving till 10, 11 o'clock at night to turn out this $2,000 or $3,000 paint correction and then going home, getting in bed and getting up at 4 in the morning, start all over. No, I have a quality of life. I can do the things I want when I need to, and I'm there for my wife, my family, friends, and whatnot. So, people talk about the grind, and well, you can grind yourself to death.
Yeah.
I did that.
Exactly.
Early on.
100% believer in that you have to have that is such a bad mentality that, your competitors are getting up at 3. That means you got to get up at 2. No, bullshit. Right. Sleep in until 8 and get up and do your job, and money, and live. Because
that's right.
I've got this theory. I've called it the sack of money theory for my entire life. And hold on just a second.
I got somebody trying to call me, and I don't know how to get rid of them. So let me see if I can get my mouse over.
Is that collections?
Heck is my mouse
up there?
I know, but I'm like, there.
Okay. So I've got this theory, this bag of money theory. If you handed anybody, a sack of money, here's all the money you will ever need. Boop. They are not going to be doing what they're doing today. 99.99% of people will walk away from what they're doing. Because there are certain people that love what they're doing, and that's great, right? They absolutely
Sure.
love what they're doing, and I agree with that. And you may do it still, but you're going to do it in a different way. If you handed me this sack of money, I'm not going to be doing the same things that I'm doing today. So why is
Sorry, Jody.
Yeah, sorry.
Hey,
still
you
hang
know
out with
what?
Jody.
No, you know what? I expect it. So
No, Jody would
there's
do the
no
same thing.
illusions.
If you handed Jody a sack of money, he'd be on the ocean somewhere.
I'd be on the
That's right.
But the thing about that is why do we take that out of the equation and go, well, because I don't have the sack of money, I'm going to kill myself to try to make a living? That's ridiculous. It's not about what you do for a living. It's about how you live.
Well, experiences, right? You can never get back time. I think they've made a song or two about that. But even with the upcoming Mobile Tech, I talk to people about it all the time. I'm like, hey, well, I see it at Mobile Tech. Oh, I can't go. I got customers. I got business to do. I'm like, yeah, you realize what you're missing.
Yeah.
The chance to network, meet others, learn new skills, attend some of these classes, and I get it. And that's what's so disappointing. I hear people just saying they got to work every single day. I mean, as their kids are growing up, and then they wonder what happened at 18, and their kids are out of the house. Let's say, you just don't get that back. So that's also part of the mentality I'm really trying to fight, and have been fighting for years. I mean, literally years. I've been trying to tell people, work to the customer's expectations, not other people's egos, your own ego. And work smarter, not harder. And yes, I get laughed at all the time. I get texts all the time. Good luck selling, good luck marketing. And I say, well, I think I kind of got that in the bag. I've been doing this for a while. And again, I'm not trying to replace anything. I'm not trying to overtake ceramics or paint corrections or any of these other hand coatings. I'm trying to fill a niche.
Yeah.
And I think I found the place, and it's doing quite well, despite me not marketing.
Yeah, it's another tool in the box. And I think it's funny you say that, because people say that to us all the time. There's always going to be a company that gets there faster. There's always going to be a company that's bigger, that all that, fill in the blank. It doesn't matter, because if you're chasing that goal, you're going to lose out, right? I see so many retailers that are chasing, what they're doing is they're chasing the goal of what their customer has a Lamborghini has. They're like, I'm going to be that guy. And there are so few people in our industry that are going to be that guy or that gal.
That's right.
If you're not going to be, chances are you're not going to be. So find a place that makes you happy. Quit beating yourself up because you're not, making X amount of dollars or this many millions or whatever.
Sure.
Just follow your own dream. And it's funny, because the older people that are in the detailing industry, there's a crossover period where they start talking about family and time spent with friends and all that, versus the killing it every day. And you'll get there. Everybody will get there.
That's right. Couldn't agree more.
Well, man, we're excited. I mean, I can't wait to see you at Mobile Tech Expo, to actually take a look at your new product, feel it, see it, learn about it. So
I'm looking forward to it myself. And then got Colorado coming up in April.
Yep, we got the detailing summit in Colorado. You're going to be there as well.
That's right.
I think people should stop by and take a look at this. You mentioned something that I think is really a niche market with your product, and that is headlight restoration. So many people look at headlight restoration as this long process, and I don't think it has to be. And
it doesn't have to be. You're right.
So I'm excited to see it and get our, to actually talk to you about it and see it and everything. So if you're not going to Mobile Tech Expo and you don't know Doug, you can look him up. We've got his stuff rolling across the bottom here. If you still can't find him, you can reach out to us, because we know how to get a hold of him. And
unfortunately, no, I'm just kidding.
No, we love talking.
And
we'll
be doing some live events.
Maybe he's saying it's unfortunate that we can talk to him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing some live events. We will definitely stop by the Snake Oil booth with our mobile podcast booth and go out live in 2 weeks at Mobile Tech Expo.
I can't believe it's going to be 2 weeks. And you got to come by the RoadFS booth. Rod and I have some really cool swag. So,
and I'll be having giveaways myself.
Awesome.
So.
Yep. So this is one of
we're
going to be giving away
tons of shirts
100 of these. So stop.
Awesome.
by RoadFS.
99, I stole one.
Actually,
98. I stole. We're gonna give away about 50 of these shirts.
So,
And
yeah, no, we're 90. So anyway, make sure you come by. Take a moment to look at RoadFS. Our guy Ben Ellsworth will be with us. Rod and I will be walking the booth, interviewing people, going live as many times
as we can. We've got some other surprises coming in.
That'd be great.
If you go to the IDA award ceremony, it's going to be epic.
Fun.
So go to MTE, go to the events, and get a hold of Doug. Find out about this new niche market. You could change your business.
So Doug, how do people get hold of you other than what I got scrolling?
Well, I can't see what's scrolling, so I'm assuming my phone number is there.
Yeah, 372805888.
Excellent. And then obviously I have a Facebook page. There will be a Facebook group, Snake Oil. Again, that won't be published in public till Mobile Tech. But yeah, my website should be up and running at that point too. But currently it's just direct messages, Facebook, my cell number, which is available 24/7.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well,
All
dude,
right,
we're looking forward to seeing you.
Yep.
And,
Awesome.
Next week, our guest is going to be Randy Hobson. We're going to be talking about the first ever fish derby that is happening with automotive recon pros, PDR, and detailers. We will be there with the Detail Solutions podcast in 3D on the same boat.
Where's that?
It's going to be at Mobile Tech Expo the day before education.
Day before.
There's this fishing tournament going on. Jody's going to be on the boat with the guys from Solution.
I'm going to catch the smallest fish. So,
yeah. And so hang out.
Well, you're sitting next to the biggest fish. So,
whoa, are you saying he's a good catch?
No, he's saying
carp.
Big carp. So
anyway,
all right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody on Facebook, YouTube. Go out and subscribe. Those of you on TikTok, thanks for checking out with us live. And we will see you guys next week at the same time.
See ya.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.